This is Girls Talk Tech, the show where girls talk about technology and other things. My name is Priscilla. Just yesterday, New York City's Mayor de Blasio announced that the city only has enough PPE, which stands for personal protective equipment, up until April 5th. Unfortunately, the federal government in the United States is unable to provide enough PPE for hospital workers, as all of the states are currently requesting equipment, and there's not enough stock for all of the hospitals. What New York City hospitals are asking right now is for people to donate anything they can get a hold on to doctors and nurses in their community. So these PPEs include surgical masks, N95 masks, hazmat suits, gloves, and most importantly, ventilators. So what we're focusing on today is face shields, which are used by medical workers. What they do is actually put the shields over their mask and goggles to attend to people who have COVID-19. And today I have with me one of the girls who has been featured on Girls Talk Tech channel, Karina. Karina has been mobilizing a community of makers who are people who make stuff from 3D printing. So what Karina is trying to do right now is to create face shields from her home. And so she'll be sharing with you what exactly she's doing right now. Hi, Karina. Thank you so much for coming.
Hi, Priscilla. I am super happy to be here and tell you all about Makers for COVID-19. It's a whole coalition of makers that I started. We're all on Slack, and we are the second largest collaboration of makers in the whole world that is creating new ideas, trying to help each other, and figuring out ways that any 3D printer owner can get involved and contribute to their community. And so far we have people that are printing ventilators, people that are printing masks, people that are printing face shields, and even people that are sewing handmade masks. So we have a lot going on, and on top of that, I'm also trying to 3D print masks on my own. I have currently one 3D printer that has the capacity to print face shields, and I am printing at a rate of 5 face shields a day, and hopefully gonna be donating this weekend. And with that, I'm also trying to create really cute notes for all of the nurses and doctors out there that are struggling and having a hard time, to kind of keep them motivated and remind them about how awesome they are and how truly heroic they are. So yeah.
What inspired you to do this?
Yeah, so I saw that there were a ton of 3D printing companies taking initiative to print these masks. And I also, being part of the 3D printing community, I saw that a lot of people who weren't affiliated with any organization but did happen to have a 3D printer wanted to somehow make the most out of their resource and contribute to the bigger community. And I figured, why not create a channel where all of these makers could come together, share their ideas, and collaborate, and really kind of make this something that everyone can do, and really join forces so that everyone who has a 3D printer can be helpful and make an impact.
Yeah, that's amazing. I've been lurking a little bit in the Slack channel, and I saw that there are people from all over the world, which is really cool. And I know that every single hospital must be looking for something different. And so it's nice to share these resources with each other. Can you show me exactly what the steps are to make a face shield?
So basically, there are lots of models for face shields, and the whole kind of 3D printing community has a lot going on right now, because there are obviously a bunch of different regulations that need to be followed, along with other things that we have to keep in mind, like supplies, and the fact that even supplies to make these masks are scarce. So because of that, I found this file where it actually does not require elastic bands. Those are currently super difficult to find. And this is my 3D printer printing right now, another face shield. Each face shield takes me roughly 3 hours to make, but the process is fairly simple. Once you have this STL, you just format it in a slicer. An STL is a 3D printable file. And a slicer is a software that basically, in its own name, slices up a file and converts it into a computer program language, and basically just tells it where to go and when to extrude plastic and what not to create the shape that we are desiring. And currently I have 5 made, and this is what a finished shield would look like. You take a sheet of plastic acetate, you insert it in. There are certain regulations about the top. We're currently working on, in the maker community, finding files that are the most efficient to print, because these files do take a while. I mean, each face shield takes 3 hours to print for me. And then at the same time, we're trying to make sure that we are minimizing the use of resources like elastic bands to make it more cost efficient, while at the same time trying to fit in within the regulations of the whole healthcare industry and healthcare world. So there's kind of a lot of talk going on, and a lot of things that need to be discussed before somebody starts 3D printing and really supporting this initiative. And because there's so much to really talk about and so many new ideas being generated every day, I thought it was essential to start a collaborative initiative like our Slack channel, where people who want to get started but have no clue can find all the information they need and even find the support that they need from other makers.
Yeah, I love that. And what you said about figuring out exactly, the guidelines is so important. So if you are like Karina and you're based in New York City and you're either creating PPE or have access to PPE, I highly recommend that you reach out to this organization called ppe2nyc.com. They will tell you exactly what they're looking for, including the guidelines or requirements for all of your donations, and they'll even come pick up the equipment from you and distribute them to hospitals that are in need of these supplies. If you're not located in New York City, please reach out to hospitals admins, as they will be the people who can tell you exactly what the requirements are. If you're an owner of a 3D printer and you'd want to join this community of making 3D printed masks and other medical supplies, please join the Slack channel in the link below. We'll also have additional resources you can take a look at on the Girls Talk Tech blog. So, Karina, if you're not an owner of a 3D printer, what can people do to support this maker community?
So we actually have a GoFundMe, and that's where a lot of people and supporters can help us out. A lot of these makers that are on our Slack channel and are actively donating thousands upon tens of thousands of masks and shields and ventilators are doing it all from their money. They are purchasing these clear face shields. They're purchasing all these materials, including the plastic film 3D printers, and doing this on their own out of their goodwill. But for many of them to keep doing what they're doing, we really want to kind of reimburse them for all their great efforts, and any donation that you make will kind of continue this initiative going and encourage these wonderful makers to keep doing the awesome good that they are.
Awesome. Thank you so much for speaking to me, Karina. Once again, all of this information will be on our website at girlstalk.tech. Please make sure to follow us on social media for the latest updates, and we'll see you next time. Bye.